Have you ever heard me, as it relates to the late, great martial arts phenomenal personality that we know as Bruce Lee? Have you ever heard me say that he could not be beaten? Have you ever heard me say that he was better than anyone else? No, you didn't. Not if you have kept it in the proper context, the context by which I presented it. You wouldn't say that. It seems to be some or a few that are trying to put words in my mouth, making the statement that I said Bruce Lee was unbeatable. Never said that. Never ever. As a matter of fact, I challenge you to find any video that I've ever done on Bruce Lee, and there's a bunch on my platform. I challenge you to find any video where I've said that. You won't find any. And no, I don't have to go and dig something up and hide it or what have you, because I know I never said it. I never believed it. To put it the way it was placed over the years on YouTube, what I said was Bruce Lee was the greatest martial artist of the 20th and the 21st century. That's what I said. Very generalized statement, if you will. Now, I have also said on more than one occasion in several videos that there were people as good as Bruce Lee and even better. That's exactly what I said. And I said, but those people didn't surface like Bruce Lee did. Bruce Lee was the one that became popularized. Doesn't mean that no one else that existed was as good as or better than Bruce Lee. Those are the things that I said about Bruce Lee. Now, I did make some specific comments about certain people who were putting Bruce Lee's talent down, who said that Bruce Lee was simply an actor, just an actor. I did say that. And I challenged those statements by saying, no, he was not just an actor or simply an actor. He was a great martial artist. And then there were people who were saying that Bruce Lee only learned part of the Wing Chun system. And there's no record of Bruce Lee having any professional fights or winning any championships. But all of these people that made these statements are making it based on an arena where there are rules, regulations, referees and judges, and time limits, which don't exist in the street. And Bruce Lee, this man that we know as the little dragon, born in the year of the dragon, had amassed over 2,000 books on fighting. Actors don't do that. Not if you're just an actor. You don't do that. You don't have people make specialized equipment for you to develop your technique, your body, your strength, your stamina. Actors don't train on a regular basis, spending arduous hours of intense training to perfect themselves. Even in his philosophical approach, he said, honestly, to me, martial arts is perfecting yourself, or being the best at whatever you can be the best at. It doesn't matter what it is. So the martial arts happened to be Bruce Lee's thing. I mean, he was from Asia. It's not unusual, it's not uncommon for him to pursue something that he was passionate about. He wanted to set a mark for himself, but he set it not only for himself, but he set it for the world. And had it not been for this so-called actor who didn't finish Wing Chun, who took a little of this and a little of that and called himself the greatest person in the martial arts, which he never did that. He never said that. The world said that. The world placed Bruce Lee in that position. It's funny, and I'm going to say this again. I don't care what the trolls say. they don't matter because we already know what their agendas and their intentions are. But I'm going to say this again. Bruce Lee made martial arts popular worldwide. And he's the one and only human being during that time that's responsible for that in our lifetime. Tell me who is if he isn't. I'm sure you've heard this expression many times before, especially if you came up during that era, which I lived through that. Bruce Lee made everybody want to do martial arts, even their grandma. Nobody else did that. Bruce Lee also made an Okinawan weapon, the nunchaku, popular worldwide. No one knew what that was until Bruce Lee. He took an Okinawan weapon that was not a Chinese weapon and he made it popular. Everyone wanted to have a pair of nunchakus and mimic what they saw Bruce Lee do in Return of the Dragon, Chinese Connection, and Enter the Dragon. I was making them. People were making their own and so forth, and then people started buying them. Yes, Bruce Lee was a humble man, as aggressive as he was as a martial artist practitioner. He believed in what he did. And when I say he was a humble man, I mean simply from the standpoint that he learned from a lot of people. He learned from his brother, Peter, fencing. He learned eskrima and the nunchakus from his student, who's still existing here today, Dan Inosanto of the Filipino martial arts. He learned the nunchaku and the eskrima sticks from him. And Dan said that he took it to another level. He got he got much better than Dan at doing it. And you know, that's indicative of his prowess when you look at the movies that I mentioned already, Enter the Dragon, Chinese Connection, Return of the Dragon, and even Game of Death. Later on, the part that he did play in that movie before he passed, the nunchakus, he took it to another level. No one used the nunchucks like Bruce Lee in the movies. Everybody wanted to use the nunchakus then. And then also in Enter the Dragon, you see him use the bow, the eskrima sticks, outside of the excellent hand trapping at the elevator in the tunnel in Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee was great at that. So again, he learned from a lot of people, and he made no qualms about learning from somebody else, boxing and so forth. And he admired Muhammad Ali, a whole lot of the old greats, if you will. But the crux of the matter is this: I never said that Bruce Lee could not be beaten. Bruce Lee never made that statement that he was the greatest in the world or he was the greatest martial artist. People have said that. We have said that based on the evidence of what we've seen during his lifetime, his writings and so forth. But anyway, his art of Jeet Kune Do still does live. It still does exist. There are still schools across the United States and also across the world. People are still keeping Jeet Kune Do alive, as it were. Unfortunately, his son Brandon died an untimely death like his father. I have my suspicions about how he died during the set of the Crow movie, that is. But anyway, that was all I had to say. The haters, Bruce Lee haters and trolls and detractors are always going to be there. I don't like to spend my time. I'm not going to dignify any of the statements that's being made. I don't have any conversations with people like that. And if you happen to be a troll that's watching this right now, I ignore you. It's that simple. Find something better to do. That's all I can say. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, if you are a martial arts practitioner, continue to study, continue to train, continue to make yourself a better version of you that you were yesterday. So long.